Hi there, my name is Vivek and I congratulate you on your admission to the Ross School of Business. Welcome to the University of Michigan and Ann Arbor. I'm sure you're going to have an amazing 2 years ahead of you, as I have had over the past year. I would like to wish you the best. You're going to have an amazing year of academics, recruiting and American football. Go Blue! The purpose of this video is to help you transition from your home country to the US with that most important aspect, finding a home. There are questions on your mind with respect to how you go about searching for a home, and through this video I just wanted to highlight the top few parameters or a framework that you could use when you go out and search for apartments. Just in terms of the scope of this video, it's specifically targeted to people who have never lived in the US. So if you have lived in the US before, then some of the topics that I talk about might be things that you already have knowledge about, and this video won't help you. But for people outside the US, I'm going to talk about things that you need to take care of or things that you need to think about when you are searching for an apartment in Ann Arbor. So to start off, let me give you a sense of the geography of Ann Arbor and where it's located. So geographically, it's located in the northeast parts of the US, which is called the Midwest, and it's very close. It's in the state of Michigan and very close to Lake Michigan. In winters, Ann Arbor can get very cold, and it does snow. So for somebody who's coming from a hot country like me, where I grew up in Mumbai, when I came to Ann Arbor, this was the first time that I actually saw snow. So you need to prepare for that when you're coming from your home country. Ann Arbor is located about 20 miles west of Detroit, which is the major airport nearby. So when you fly in, you're going to fly in to Detroit. So the city of Ann Arbor is mainly a student town. You have all the schools under the University of Michigan located in the city of Ann Arbor. So the predominant population are students. The campus is generally divided into the North Campus and the Central Campus. So in the North Campus you have the engineering and the medical schools, and in Central Campus is where you have the Ross School of Business, the School of Law, the School of Liberal Arts, and so on. So let's get down to the real details. What are the things that you need to think about when you are searching for an apartment in Ann Arbor? I think that there are 4 key parameters that you need to think about, and we're going to talk about each of them. The first is the location of the apartment. Ann Arbor is not a very big city, so it does not really take a very long time to travel from one point to another. But given the fact that it snows in Ann Arbor, and you must have guessed by now the fact that I'm talking about the Ann Arbor winters, that it's going to be a big part of your life when you are in Ann Arbor. So since it snows and it's really cold in winters, even short distances can seem very long. So if you are not going to buy a car when you come to Ann Arbor, then I would recommend that you stay somewhere which is within a 15-minute walk from the school, and I would not go farther than that. If you're buying a car, then you have the liberty of living a little farther away from school, and you can drive down to school. But even with that option, when you're driving to school, you do need to understand that parking is not very easily available to everyone. So even if you're driving to school, a lot of people find parking places which are at a 5-minute or even a 10-minute walk away from school. So you can live at a place that is 4 or 5 miles away from school, and you can drive down to school and then park about half a mile from school and then walk over to the school building. When you're thinking about location, the other things that you need to think about are, what are the demographics of other people living in that area? As I said, Ann Arbor is a student town, And if you're going to stay in Central Campus, this is where a lot of the undergrads stay. And undergrads love to party. So if you're going to live in Central Campus, then you should be ready for a lot of parties around your apartment. So if you don't want the noise, if you're a person who likes a more quiet environment, then living in Central Campus might not be the right thing to do. So the options you have is move farther away from Central Campus. You could move south, or you could move west, but then again you're moving farther away. So it's that balance between how far you're moving from campus versus how far you're moving from the school versus the amount of noise and partying around you that you can take. The last thing that you need to think about with respect to locations is, do you want to stay in professionally maintained apartment, or do you want to stay in individual apartment homes? Typically, if you move far away from campus, the quality of the apartments improves. And if you live close to school, the quality of the apartment decreases. This is because as you move closer to school, most of the apartments are individually owned. So there's one person who owns a building and he's leasing out all the apartments in that building. Versus when you stay far away, they're more of apartment complexes. So they're run by professional organizations. So they maintain the apartments very well. So when you're thinking about location, you need to think about whether you're going to buy a car or not, whether you want to be surrounded by undergrads or not, whether you want to live in a professionally maintained apartment, or you don't mind living in an individual home as well. So that's the first parameter, and I think that is the main parameter that you need to think about when you're looking for apartments. The second parameter that you need to think about is, what is the lease term on that apartment? And when I say the lease term, I mean the number of months that you're signing the lease for. So you're going to start school in September, and at Ann Arbor we have a quarter system. So every year you have 4 quarters. The first quarter is September and October, the second quarter is November and December, the third quarter is Jan and Feb, and the fourth quarter is March and April. Now in your first year, the fourth quarter is your MAP, which is the Multidisciplinary Action Project. So as part of the MAP, a lot of students travel outside Ann Arbor. So there is a possibility that in March and April you're not going to be in Ann Arbor. After your MAP, you have a break from May all the way till September of next year. Now typically this is the period when you would go out and do an internship. So there's a very good chance, and I would say 95% of people do internships